Howdy, guys, and welcome to Cliff Notes, and welcome to a recap of night number 55 inside the Big Brother house. Night number 55, but more importantly, welcome to Eviction Day. Yeah, this evening we're going to lose either Chemo or Quinn. Looks like maybe Quinn is still the primary target, but hey, we still got a few hours left. But we are going to be losing one of the two this evening. Lots of campaigning that took place yesterday and last night, so we're going to get into all of that. Just get right into the feeds themselves. We'll start off with Chemo and Leah talking to each other. Chemo is saying that he just wants to play a bunch of games today. He doesn't want to get in his head and get too worried about everything. I gotta say, Chemo is on the block, but he's just feeling a little too safe, right? Does he have enough confidence that the votes are going to come through to save him? Again, I think that's probably the case, but he just doesn't seem as concerned about the vote this evening as Quinn certainly is. So yeah, Chemo's saying he just wants to play a lot of games. Well, they played a lot of games yesterday throughout the day. Lots of singing, acting, just screwing around throughout the afternoon, especially. I get it. They're locked inside. They're stressed out. A little bit easier decisions this week because instead of 3 people on the block at this time, you only have 2. So there's a little bit more of either this or that as opposed to a three-way type situation, y'all. So yeah, everyone just chilling for a lot throughout the day, and Chemo is perfectly fine with that. All right, we've got Chelsea and McKenzie talking a little bit. Chelsea, the HOH and the veto holder, although McKenzie has spent a lot of time trying to convince people that she had no idea what Chelsea was going to do with that renom, and all she did was pull Angela off. Anything beyond that's all on Angela. But we've got Angela. Anything beyond that is all on Chelsea. So we've got Chelsea and McKenzie talking. Chelsea is saying that she maybe wouldn't be 100% opposed to working with Leah and Angela going forward, but that those two would just have to fall in line and realize that they can't be betraying the 2 people that are saving them, that are watching out for them and all of that. There is zero trust here between Chelsea and Leah, and it just would not work at all. There's zero chance that they would work together beyond just a temporary ceasefire for one night only. And I think that's some of what's leading the whole going after Quinn as opposed to going after Chemo. Just this lack of trust between 2 different groups. So yeah, Chelsea's saying, yeah, maybe I could work with them, but they'd have to just do what we said, basically. Yeah, ain't gonna happen. We know that's not gonna happen. All right, we've got T-Core and Rabina talking to one another. They're talking about what to do if there is a double eviction. We know there's not a double this week. We know, right? Yeah, they couldn't do it in an hour. Speaking of, October 3rd, I think, is a 2-hour-long episode of Big Brother on a Thursday night. That seems very late in the season to have a double. Maybe it could be a battle back or something. I just saying. But we do just have a single hour tonight. So it's not going to be a double, but T-Core and Rabina are talking about what if it is. Rabina is thinking that Angela would probably go next after Quinn goes, theoretically, that Angela would follow right behind him this evening. But T-Core is wondering if maybe Leah should go before Angela, take her out instead, and then save Angela for a little bit later. So they want to talk to McKenzie and Chelsea and Cam. All right. The more these different groups have talked, I think I figured out the way this house is structured right now, the relationships between the two. We basically have 3 trios in the house at this point in time. We've got Chemo and Rabina and T-Core in corner number 1. We've got Chelsea and Cam and McKenzie in corner number 2. And then we've got Angela and Leah and Quinn. What an interesting trio that is over in corner number 3. They're kind of the left outs more than anything else. But we've got these 2 primary groups of T-Core, Chemo, and Rabina, and Cam, Chelsea, and McKenzie. Those 2 groups are so worried about each other that no one wants to be the person to take the first shot at the other side. Angela doesn't want to go after those 3 in fear that then if one of those 3 gets power, they will come back on Angela as opposed to anyone else. It's almost a balance of power type situation. None of the 3 of either one of those 2 groups wants to come after the other. So instead, there's just kind of an unspoken ceasefire that they're just going to keep picking off Angela and Leah and Quinn and leave the other side alone. And everyone in those other 2 groups is just kind of hoping that someone else in their group gets power and takes the first shot at the other side so they don't have blood on their hands. So this house is working out of a certain amount of fear right now. No one wants to take the big shot. As a result, you almost have an alliance of 6 people already broken into 2 groups of 3. And maybe it's because there's 3 on each side that they feel safe. No one feels like they're at the bottom because you got 2 separate sides of 3. So that's how I'm picturing her right now, which is why I think Quinn will go home this evening. And they may do it again next week. Shoot. Now, what would be interesting is if Leah or Angela, God forbid, if Leah or Angela was to get HOH, they're going to shake things up a little bit. All right. So with all that being said, we finally do get some campaigning taking place in the house. Late afternoon, we start seeing a little bit. We've got Chemo talking to Angela. Angela is saying that she loves Chemo, that she would not vote him out ever for personal reasons. From a personal standpoint, she would never vote him out. But she's saying, but you are a group of 3 that is very tight. I know y'all would take a bullet for each other. You would bend over backwards to protect each other. And so that is dangerous to me and to everyone else in this house, knowing how tight you 3 are. Chemo's responding, saying, well, I'm not a physical threat. I can't compete like Quinn does. So, you know, if you're comparing one to the other, I'm just not the threat. Kind of just discounting this whole group of 3 tightness and all of that. Angela is talking about, kind of explaining this whole deal that happened a few nights ago about her thinking that Quinn and Leah had been cooking something up with T-Core, Rubina, and Chemo, and explaining why she would expect that something like that could be the case. Chemo shutting it down, saying, look, Quinn is not with the 3 of us. Yeah, we're tight, but Quinn and Leah, not part of it. It just didn't happen, Angela. And she's saying, well, you can understand why I would be suspicious that it would, right? But yeah, he's saying that it's not the case. Angela's saying that Chemo definitely has her vote to stay because she knows that Quinn wants her gone. So why wouldn't she vote out Quinn and send him out the door? So she's saying, Chemo, yeah, you're good with me. I'm going to vote to save you. Not only is she saying that, but she's also giving Chemo a lot of advice on how to pitch to other people against Quinn. And she's saying, talk about Quinn, talk about that he's a snake in the grass, that he turned on his first alliance, that he put his best friend Joseph on the block and ended up sending him home, that he is definitely a competition threat as compared to you saying you're not a comp threat, a physical comp threat. Well, Quinn is. Point all of those things out when you talk to other people. So Angela certainly giving Chemo some advice on how to campaign to everyone else in the house. All right, we've got Quinn and Cam talking to each other. Cam is telling Quinn, saying, you know, the 2 of us, we're good, but Quinn, you're definitely in a bad spot, in a bad position this week. Well, the reality is Cam is eager to have Quinn go, but he's not saying that to Quinn. He's saying, yeah, you and me, guy, well, we're fine, but yeah, you're in a little trouble this week, Quinn, with everyone else. Quinn is saying that this group of 5 is all he has, which is Chelsea, Cam, McKenzie, Leah, and himself. He's saying, that's all I got in this house at this point in time, Cam. He's saying he doesn't mind being a continual pawn for the group. Put me up as many times as you want. I get it. That's fine. He says something about, especially when it comes down to the final 6, if it's a group of 5 and someone on the outside, that they could put that outsider, say T-Core, so they could put her up, use Quinn as a pawn, and he would be perfectly fine with that. He's fine just doing whatever it takes. He's saying that he is not working with the other side, and that obviously they're voting to send him home. So why am I working with the other side if it's so obvious that they're going to all be voting me out this evening, Cam? So he's making his pitch to Cam to maybe throw out a vote to save Quinn this evening. I don't think it's going to happen. All right, we've got Quinn and Angela talking a little bit. This is, it's some campaigning that takes place. In fact, more than I expected. These 2 have been at odds for a long time, but Quinn telling her that his final message to her, his kind of final goodbye, he wanted to be a little bit lighthearted and all. He's saying that he is very happy that she made jury, that nothing was ever personal between them. And I kind of believe that from Quinn. I think he's just having fun playing the game, that nothing was ever personal. I'm glad you've gone as far as you have, Angela. Congratulations to you. You know, I love you and everything's great. If Quinn goes home tonight and Angela does go home next week, these 2 get to share a jury house together. Won't that be exciting? Put an extra camera in there and give us one of the live feeds just watching the 2 of these interact in the jury house. But Quinn's saying he's happy she made jury and it wasn't anything personal. Angela saying, Quinn, I can't help but like you. I did anything personal, and I really do like you. She's saying that if he stays, that it's tough for her to decide, because she says, I know you want me out, so it'd be tough for me to keep you. She says, but on the other hand, if Chemo stays, I know he's got his group of three. So either way, I'm a little bit nervous about the situation. Quinn is pitching to her saying, look, I'm not good at mental competitions. Yeah, maybe the physical stuff I'm okay with, but there's no way I can do the mental stuff. So I'll be an easy person to pick off somewhere down the road. He's saying he does not mind going on the block going forward. Angela's certainly used to that. I think he's implying that, hey, maybe me instead of you could be the person that goes up on the block if you hold on to me this week. He's also telling Angela, saying, look, I don't really think that it's your words and what you told Chelsea and stuff that put me on the block this week. It's other people that were manipulating your words and using it to their advantage, which caused me to go on the block. So nothing against you, Angela, at all. He is saying that, I know you think I'm going to send you home. And he said, yeah, I have planned on that in the past. He says, but right now, no, you're not my target, Angela. Rubina is. If I stay in the house, I'm not going after you. I'm going after Rubina instead. Angela is saying, look, if you were to stay, if I voted to keep you, would you promise not to put me on the block going forward in exchange for that? And he said, well, yeah, absolutely. She says, well, I need you to tell Leah that as well. And yeah, sure, after whatever. Yeah, sure, absolutely. So theoretically, Angela is saying that she could vote to keep Quinn if he makes that promise to her. We'll see. All right, do they trust each other to do something like that? I don't know. All right, we've got Quinn and McKenzie talking to one another. Quinn says he is comfortable talking to McKenzie, asking McKenzie to keep him because they had already agreed earlier in the week to send Chemo home when it was Chemo versus Angela. He's saying now with Angela not an option, it seems twice as easy to send Chemo home instead of me, McKenzie. It seems like a slam dunk. Well, maybe not quite as much as you think, Quinn, but he's saying he feels like it would be an easy choice for her to make to send Chemo home. He's saying, look, the group of three, they're always going to protect each other. They're the strongest trio we've got in this house. He says, if Chemo goes, though, then they're down to two, and they're going to come after me if they get power, McKenzie. You'll be safe. Those two aren't going to come after you. I know you've got your, Chelsea and Cam aren't going to come after you. Angela isn't going to come after you. He's saying they'll be coming after me. So I'm a target. I'm a shield for you if you were to send Chemo out the door. He's saying that when it's just a group of 5 or 6, he'd be happy being the pawn. Same thing he told Cam. He's talking about how grateful he is that he got to meet her, play the game with her this season, however it turns out. All right, we've got Angela and Leah talking a little bit. Angela's saying that she feels bad for going to Chelsea with her belief that Quinn and Leah had maybe formed something with the other group of 3. She said, I'm sorry I went direct to her instead of talking to you about first. I just feel horrible about it. And Leah's not saying, it's okay. She said, okay. Angela's not wanting to be on the wrong side of the vote. And Leah's saying, I don't want to be on the wrong side of the vote either. They're wondering if Quinn has the votes to stay. They're saying it benefits them not to have that group of 3 staying strong. Everyone understands that keeping T-Core, Rubina, and Chemo together is a dangerous move, but no one wants to be the one to pull the trigger to stop it. But they're both realizing that could certainly be an issue going forward. Angela's wondering if there's any way that they could, she thinks that maybe Cam will continue to want to vote out Quinn, but if they could get McKenzie on their side, that maybe they could force a 3-3 tie, and at that point, force Chelsea to make the decision and get a little bit of blood on her hand. Leah's saying, I don't want that girl to have any more power than already. I don't want her even breaking a tie. I don't want her to have any decision-making power going forward. And Angela's kind of saying, I kind of get that as well. Leah's hoping that she wins HOH this week. I'm kind of hoping you do too, Leah. All right, we've got Quinn and Rubina talking. Quinn, a little shorter conversation. Yeah, do you think Rubina's going to vote out Chemo and save Quinn? Yeah, no one does either, including Quinn. Quinn is not asking for her vote, and she's certainly not offering a vote. Just lots of compliments to each other and saying they liked having another weird person in the house and how great that was and all that. So just a little kumbaya, goodbye message type situation. I gotta say, I think at the end of the evening, most of the goodbye, assuming Quinn goes home, I think most of the goodbye messages tonight are going to be pretty complimentary. Well, of course, Quinn's the first person in jury, so people are going to be going overboard to be complimentary, you would think, right? But I think for the most part, people recognize that Quinn is as much of the train wreck as some of his HOHs and such have been, that he's tried to have fun while he's playing the game. And I think people recognize that. All right, we've got Chemo and Chelsea talking a little bit. Chelsea is saying that she's a little bit worried, Chemo. She's saying, I think Angela may vote to keep Quinn. We should have the numbers otherwise, but I do think that Angela may vote to save Quinn. She's saying that Angela and Leah are both trying to get Cam and McKenzie's to flip and to vote out Chemo instead. But she's saying, but that Leah and Angela are also throwing McKenzie and Cam under the bus. She's saying, yeah, they're trying to get them on board to send you out the door, but then they turn right around and they really rag on Cam and McKenzie at the same time. I think this is very smart on Chelsea's part when she talks to Chemo. She's letting Chemo know that Leah and Angela are the enemy. They're going after you, Cam. They're going after you, Chemo. If they had their way, they'd be sending you out the door. So she's letting them know that Angela and Leah are the enemy, not me, not anyone on my side. Letting him know that they are the enemy, while also implying that she doesn't trust them enough to ever work with them, to make sure that he understands that they don't have to worry about Chelsea, Cam, and McKenzie ever trying to work with Leah and Angela, because they just can't be trusted. So yeah, painting them as a target and also making sure that Chemo doesn't think that they're somewhere down the road going to be working together. She's saying that because of that, because they're ragging on Cam and McKenzie, that he should be fine tomorrow. If she has to break a tie, she's saying, I'm going to break it in your favor. I'm not sending you out the door, Chemo, if it comes down to me. She's also saying, though, that she's certain it's not going to be needed because McKenzie and Cam want Quinn gone as well. So, yeah, McKenzie and Cam are voting. Obviously, Rubina and T-Core are voting to send Quinn out. That's all you need, Chemo. You're good tomorrow. But if it came down to a tie, I'd save you, right? Right? I think she would. All right. She's saying that it's become obvious that Quinn will throw his game away for Leah, and that's always dangerous in this house. She's saying that next week, the only thing that puts Chemo, herself, or T-Core in danger is if McKenzie or Cam were to win HOH. And at that point, then Chelsea and Chemo could both be in trouble. So, yeah, she's already protecting herself that if they do decide, if Chemo, T-Core, Rubina were to win HOH and they did decide to go after Chelsea's little group of three, already trying to distance herself a little bit from the other two of, hey, they maybe would go after me and you, Chemo. I don't believe it for a second, but certainly she's trying to create the narrative that would be the case to provide a little extra insulation for herself. Chelsea's playing a great game, and Chelsea's in a great spot. If Leah gets HOH, all bets are off, and Chelsea's in trouble. That's who she needs to be worried about, not McKenzie or Cam or anyone else. She needs to be worried about Leah. As long as Leah doesn't win HOH, I think Angela's sitting pretty right now in this game. All right, we've got Quinn and T-Core talking to one another. Quinn is saying that he's pretty sure he knows how the vote's going to go on Thursday. He's being nice and complimentary to T-Core. T-Core is responding saying, believe it or not, Quinn, this is not my ideal or desired situation. And she's kind of questioning, saying, I'm not sure what all happened because Chelsea has never really thrown you under the bus, Quinn. She's always been pretty complimentary and saying she was going to protect you and all of that. And then all of a sudden everything has changed. And so they're both kind of being very nice to each other. But just like with Rubina, T-Core certainly not going to give her vote to Quinn, and he understands that. So it's a little bit more of a, hey, I've enjoyed playing with you. Farewell, I do, and I'll see you on the other side kind of things, as opposed to any actual campaigning. All right, we've got, now, having said that, from Rubina's side, from T-Core's side, the power suddenly shifts to Quinn. If he is heading out the door, he's a jury vote. So it certainly benefits them to be as nice and complimentary as they possibly could. Why bring up old stuff when you think you got the votes to send him out the door anyway? All right, we've got Chemo and Quinn talking to each other. Quinn again telling Chemo, saying, look, you're going to be good. I know what's going to happen tomorrow. It kind of is what it is. Again, talking about his pleasure in getting to play the game with Chemo, how kind he is, how generous a person he is. And how great it was just getting to hang with Chemo. So a little bit of a goodbye message again. All right, we've got Chelsea talking to Rubina and T-Core and Quinn. They're up in the HOH room. She's talking about her life, her involvement in the church, how she got involved with it. Non-game talk, just some general chit-chat going on. All right, we got Quinn and Chelsea talking. Quinn is saying that in addition, some more campaigning at this point. Quinn is saying, look, in addition to me promising not to put you up on the block if I survive, if you keep me, now, again, she only gets to decide if it's tiebreaker. He says, if, which could be. I mean, yeah, with this number of people, you've got to assume that that's a potential situation. He says, if you break the tie and keep me, not only am I promising not to put you on the block, but I would let you pick the renom. If I was HOH and there was a veto used and a renom that me had, I'd let you use it. You tell me what you want done. I will let you basically control my HOH if you will just save me this week, Chelsea. Chelsea is saying that she gets it and that's a great offer, and that she's going to tell T-Core and Rubina that if she has to break a tie, it won't be in favor of Chemo. She wants to just go and let them know that if it comes down to it, this is the way it's going to have to be. Well, she already told Chemo she's going to break the tie in his favor. I tend to believe that more than what she's telling Quinn right now, but she's telling him she'll break the tie in his favor if it comes down to that, based on the promises that Quinn is making. Does Chelsea believe Quinn would let her do all that? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't believe it. I don't think she does either. All right, we've got Cam and Chelsea talking. Cam is thinking that keeping Chemo helps them because it leaves them with Chemo. I mean, it leaves them with Angela and Leah as target options. Oh, and I guess let's see. Oh, keeping Chemo, yeah, allows them then to hold on to Angela and Leah as target options going forward. So Cam's thinking that, yeah, I know those three are tight and all that, but it still leaves us targets that we can go after, as opposed to if we keep Quinn and take out one of them, and now more people are going to be coming after us and such. All right, at one point we've got everyone singing "Happy Birthday" to Cedric, already at the house, pre-jury, but I know he saw the message. He posted someone saying thanks and glad they're doing well. So everyone gets together, sings "Happy Birthday" to Cedric. It's kind of nice to see. All right, we've got Chelsea and McKenzie talking to each other. They're talking about Angela, complaining about Angela. Of course they are. So Chelsea and McKenzie talking about her, saying that she makes these messy situations. She creates just messy situations everywhere she goes. And then she complains about how messy the situation is and how it shouldn't have to be like that. And it's all her doing. And yet she just doesn't always appreciate that after the fact. Chelsea is figuring that Leah's probably talking badly about Chelsea to Angela, throwing her under the bus to Angela. She figures that's just what Leah's doing right now. McKenzie is wondering why Angela is being so nice to McKenzie suddenly. Well, McKenzie did pull her off the block, and Angela feels like she's lost Leah's trust. So on to the next target, victim, friend. I combine them all together when you're talking about Angela. But yeah, McKenzie's saying she's being pretty nice to me. It's kind of a bit of a shock right now. Chelsea said, well, she may be being nice to you, but she's not saying anything to me, but Angela's just looking at me weird. Every time she looks over, she's looking at me a little bit weird. They're both complaining about the fact that Leah has withdrawn so much that she won't talk to them, that she hasn't come to them to talk to them. And that's a little bit bothersome, that she isn't trying to do more to hash out some of this stuff. Both of them are saying that after talking to Quinn, they're a little bit more conflicted about what they're going to do. McKenzie's saying, I think if we saved him, he probably would be loyal to us. I believe him when he says that, but they just don't really know which direction they want to go with this. They are agreeing that they want a woman to win this season. Chelsea is saying she'd like it to be not just a woman, but one of these two women they're talking to each other right now. That's what they envision as a final two. At least they're telling each other they envision that. All right, I have a feeling, would McKenzie want to go to final two with Chelsea? Maybe. Would Chelsea want to go to final two with McKenzie? Probably not. We got a lot of game to play before we have to start worrying about that. All right, we've got McKenzie and Angela talking to each other. Angela's saying that she is conflicted about this vote coming up. She just doesn't know which way she needs to go with this. McKenzie is saying that she isn't afraid to target the group of three. She'll go after them. She knows where the strength in this game is right now. She says, I'm going after the three of them, Angela, and I will protect you. I got your back. I got it when I pulled you off the block. I continue to have your back. I will protect you going forward. she's saying, I'll protect Leah too. I want to work with both of y'all. And Angela's saying, well, I'm afraid I may have lost Leah's trust. So I'm not sure exactly how that relationship's going to work going forward. But and McKenzie going out of her way to talk about protecting Angela. And again, we know she wants Angela gone, but she also does see that strength of three. I think she certainly wants to stay strong with Angela until the opportunity presents itself of McKenzie winning an HOH, protect herself in case Angela won an HOH. Wouldn't that be a kick in the pants if Angela won HOH and put McKenzie on the block right after McKenzie saved her? Wouldn't put it past her. But yeah, McKenzie trying to make sure that she's staying in good relationship with Angela for a little bit longer, at least. All right, we've got Chelsea and Leah finally clearing the air. Leah goes up to the HOH room. They talked about once or twice. Hey, can we talk tonight? They finally get up to the HOH room together. Not as wild and crazy as I expected. Chelsea is saying that Leah is not the reason that Quinn is on the block. She's saying there may be some things you said, Leah, that furthered my suspicions about Quinn. But she's saying, I've been talking to you multiple times over the past few weeks about feeling a little suspicious about Quinn and a little bit worried about his position in the game and things like that. So she's saying, whatever you said here just recently, that's not the reason he's on the block. That just kind of may push the process along, but he would have been up anyway. I've been suspicious of him for a long time, so don't worry about that. She's saying that Quinn is a super fan, that he's too much of a wild card, and if they kept him, she knows that he would want to make some kind of big move for his resume at the end, which could involve her. She doesn't want that, and that's why she just feels like Quinn needs to go right now. She's saying that she isn't frustrated with Leah at all. Anything she doesn't have any beef with Leah. She says, but I did see you throw Quinn under the bus, which just makes me that much more willing to put Quinn up on the block. Again, it's not anything you did, but the fact you threw him under the bus kind of did help as well. But she is mentioning that. Leah's saying that she is sorry for being a little snippy. If it came across that way, it wasn't intended. That she just needed time to process, that she was spiraling a little bit, that she knew if she had talked to Chelsea during that little period, it wouldn't have been good, that she needed time to collect herself and just process everything through. She's saying that, that she felt like she was spiraling, that she felt like she was in a house with a whole bunch of people that didn't like her, didn't care about her opinions, anything else. But she tells Chelsea she's feeling better today. So once she hashed all that out internally, she wanted to come and talk to Chelsea. She's saying that she doesn't necessarily feel like she's disliked by McKenzie or Chelsea, but that the two of them are very high on Leah's totem pole, and she doesn't necessarily think that it's being reciprocated, that she's as high on their totem pole. So she feels like they're maybe not valuing her as much as she values the two of them. Chelsea kind of finishes up the conversation. It's a pretty long conversation, but Chelsea finally finishes it up by saying, look, getting Quinn out this week is best because the group of three isn't going to do anything to her, to Chelsea this week. She says, getting Quinn out is best, but after this week, then one of that group of three needs to go next week because otherwise they'll control the votes. I got to get Quinn out because he's a wild card. I know the other side isn't going to be coming for me if they win HOH. I can't compete for HOH next week, so I'm a little bit vulnerable. I need to make sure that they're cool, that they don't come after me. But after that, she said, after we get Quinn out, it's time to get one of those three out so they don't control the votes. So certainly letting Leah know which direction she wants to aim the target over the next few weeks. And then finally, to finish this evening up, we've got McKenzie and Cam, very brief conversation. McKenzie asking Cam if he still wants Quinn out the door. And Cam is nodding yes. He wants Quinn gone. Little bit of a surprise. Cam and Quinn and Chemo. Well, I guess there's going to be two guys left no matter what. But yeah, Cam wants Quinn gone, which I think seals Quinn's fate, with Cam voting alongside T-Core and Rabina. That's 3 votes. Yeah, I just don't think that they've got the votes to make it happen. I do think if it came down to a tie, Chelsea would break the tie, send Quinn out the door. I think Quinn's gameplay has come to an end. Welcome to the jury house, Quinn, or welcome to somewhere else if there's some kind of battle back. We may find out this evening. I don't know. So there you have it, guys. Everyone in bed by 4:30 or so, Big Brother time. T-Core and Rubina stayed up late. A little chit-chat, but nothing important. They stayed up. McKenzie, she may have been the last one in bed, real quickly brushing teeth, things like that. Anyway, everyone in bed by 4:20, 4:30, something like that. Getting ready for tonight's HOH competition. And Eviction's going to take place. Don't discount that. But I think Quinn will be going home. The bigger news is going to be this HOH competition. Who gets it? Is it going to be slip and slide? I think it's a possibility, but we won't know till this evening. It's going to be huge as to who wins this HOH and what they want to do with it. Again, you've got kind of three different groups. You got T-Core, Rubina, and Chemo on one side, Chelsea, Cam, and McKenzie on the other side, and then probably Leah and Quinn somewhere in the middle. Leah and Angela somewhere in the middle. For the maximum amount of chaos, I'm all for a Leo HOH this evening. We shall see. Guys, have a fantastic Thursday. Enjoy tonight's episode. I'll be back tomorrow morning, probably to tell you who won the HOH, unless it's pressure cooker or something like that. But knowing how they played in OTEV, a pressure cooker will last like 2 minutes or something. They'll all be out anyway. So I'll be back tomorrow morning to let you know how HOH went. Until then, have a great one, my friends. SKD 143. Cheers. Bye.